Welcome back to What? Where the are we? I'm Tim Surette, and here's everything you need to know from Westworld Season 2, Episode 3, Virtu e Fortuna. We all immediately freaked out as the plucky player piano of Sweetwater was replaced with the psychedelic sitars of a new park. This is Park 6, where that dang tiger escaped from, and it's here we meet Grace. She's flirting with an Alexander Skarsgård looking bro, and after a shag, the two of them are off on an adventure. But those violent delights have made their way to this park, and hosts are killing humans here too. Later, Skarsgård light. Grace gets chased by a tiger and crosses a laser beam that warns her that she's leaving the park. An interesting thing to note here, it certainly appears that the beam was designed to keep the robots out, but here the beam was shut off. Catching up with Bernard and Charlotte, they're looking for Peter Abernathy and they find him. Except he's herded together with some humans by Rebus and some other yokels. After bonking him on the head, Bernard manages to readjust Rebus's personality to be a virtuous killing machine. Bernard and Abernathy are eventually caught by some Confederados, while Charlotte is like, "Smell you later," and gallops off because Charlotte is only out for herself. Dolores continued her recruitment of hosts by heading to the Confederados' home base of Fort Forlorn Hope. Yep, that's a Fallout reference from the video game-loving Jonathan Nolan, to convince the Confederados colonel to join forces against the humans. Not so coincidentally, that's right about the time the Confederados bring Bernard and Abernathy in, and Dolores has a chat with her quote-unquote dad, but he's acting all nutty on account of all the characters he has percolating inside his hard drive brain. Remember, he's loaded up with all sorts of Delos data, and just enough personality to get on a train. Charlotte finds an army of Delos grunts and they ride on Fort Forlorn Hope to grab Abernathy. At the same time, Bernard jacks into Dolores' daddy at Dolores' behest and realizes there's a big old file of something in there, but Charlotte's men snatch up Abernathy before Bernard can figure out what it is. There's a big fight between humans and hosts with lots of shooting, and even more shooting, plus some cool explosions. But in the end, tons of humans and Confederados die because that sneaky Dolores always planned for the Confederados to die anyway. She's not very nice, is she? Oh, here's another interesting thing. Dolores can get shot and barely feel it now. This is beginning to feel unfair to the humans. Dolores sends Teddy to finish off the surviving Confederados, including Major Craddock, but Teddy lets them all go when he thinks Dolores isn't looking. But she is, and she's totally bummed about it. Grace, remember her from Park 6? She swims to the shores of Westworld and is immediately greeted by members of Ghost Nation. She's in deep. Let's check in on Maeve, Hector, and Lee. They come into contact with some members of Ghost Nation, and Maeve has some scary flashbacks of them killing her and her daughter. But remember, it was actually the Man in Black. And then Maeve tries to voice control them as she's done with so many other hosts. It doesn't work. So they run away in a nice visual homage to the greatest movie of all time, Raiders of the Lost Ark. But why can't Maeve voice command Ghost Nation? Remember, she's not the only one who can't. In Season 1, Episode 9, Stubbs tried to voice command them too, but they were all, "Doesn't sound like anything to me," and ignored their human overlord. We still don't know what they did to Stubbs after that, do we? Armistice is back and she's got a new robotic arm and a flamethrower. That's cool. Hector cheekily says she's got a dragon, making her HBO's second platinum blonde with a dragon. Maeve runs into Felix and Sylvester, the two Delos employees named after cartoon cats, and they all march off in search of Maeve's daughter. But instead of finding Maeve's daughter, they get lost and find something so much better. A samurai dude charging at them, katana held aloft. Hello, Shogun World! And why doesn't Lee know where he's going? Isn't this his park? Or is Shogun World bleeding into the Klondike narrative in Westworld? Now here's what I'm wondering. Why was that laser beam in Park 6 turned off? Who triggered the host there? And why can't Ghost Nation be voice controlled? These all point to a third variable in this war between robots and humans intentionally causing chaos. What's between a full-fledged human and an unfeeling robot? A corporation. Could the Delos board, who Charlotte is in contact with, be behind the chaos? It wouldn't surprise me. Or is this the next stage in Ford's narrative? What do you think? And that's everything you need to know about Westworld Season 2, Episode 3, Virtu e Fortuna. See you next week, hopefully in Shogun World, when we break down Episode 4.